January, right? So just a word, what the company has decided is, now if you want to have the Pro Plus, you can start booking it probably by the end of the month or next month, where you can, even those who are having the Pro can trade in the Pro by paying an extra USD 1,000 and exchange it for the Pro Plus. The Pro Plus has many new features, which we shall talk another day. Now, the next thing is the Ion Shield pendant, right? Many people, when you wear this, it looks like a beautiful accessory, and it's a good way to make friends. Many people want to know what you're wearing and what does it do. Some don't get into trouble anyway. You know why? Once a customs officer asked me, "What is it that you're wearing there?" So I told him it's a camera, and he got scared. Then I had to explain to him, saying that no, it is a mask, a digital mask which I'm wearing. All right. So use it. It's a good, what do you call it, conversation starter. All right. The next thing is the iTerra Bio. And now we also have the BioLite. And now we have also brought in the oversaturated hydrogen water bottles, replacing the Seven Wonders. All right. Now, we aim to be the number one in the world as far as health related products are concerned. This evening, we had a session with Dr. J, and he was very impressed with the products which PRIFE has, and he is practically using every other product which PRIFE has. And if you look at here, some of the other products, just to mention them, we have AeroWave for aromatherapy, and then we have the T-Rest. Now the T-Rest is, when the tigers, they're in the jungle after they have delivered, the milk drops on the ground, and these mushrooms grow from there. And it's something which is really sought after, especially by the Chinese. Even the Chinese from China really look for them, and PRIFE has them. It helps with your upper respiratory tract, helps with your breathing, helps with your lungs. So it's really helping lots of people, especially after the vaccination. Now we also have the EMF shield, where you can use on your laptops, on your phones, to cut off dangerous frequencies. And then you have the Vitality Energy bracelets. Now this Vitality Energy bracelets, they look good. They look like another accessory, and people are always asking, what is that you're wearing on your hand? Because they see there's no clock, there's nothing to show the time, just a piece like that, and they want to know, why are you wearing it? All right. So, and it's definitely helping people. If you do the simple energy test, you will discover that it gives you lots of energy. It's helping with your health. And also we have the renew patches. All right. So the next thing is the OxyTab. All right. Now, what it does is it brings more oxygen into your body. So as we know, oxygen is something of paramount importance in the body. It helps in the what do you call it, the recovery of the tissues, and to make them work better. So by using this, you increase the amount of oxygen, and it's definitely going to help you. And then people who have gone through cancer, when the first thing you go to the hospital, you find that the doctors are giving you oxygen, right? So now with this device, you have oxygen in your house. Okay, you can have it anytime you wish to have more oxygen. All right. Now, other than that, we have the Pro, the Bio, and the OxyTab, which makes the trilogy. And now, presently, we have another one which is called the MagnoSeek. All right. This will also be, we will talk about it in another topic some other day. But basically, what the MagnoSeek does is, firstly, it is a diagnostic tool. It basically tells you if you have a problem in your body, to identify the areas where you have to pay more attention to. And at the same time, it also repairs the frequencies in those areas to align them more with homeostasis. All right. So that's what the Magnosic does. And we also have some other products. Like for example, the Aqua 3. Many women testify saying that it has helped them. It has helped clear their skin, and also it's balancing their hormones. All right. So this is another very good product. And then we have the Takara patch. Now, if you notice, those who try this product, if you are using it, you must be careful in a sense that you have to wrap your feet in plastic, because otherwise it's going to soil your bed, because it pulls a lot of toxins out of your body. Besides from your legs, now you can also attach it to wherever you have a problem, the problem area, and starting to remove toxins from that area. Okay, it's a very good product, especially to remove the toxins from your body. And we have the NV specs. The NV specs is helping people, calm down, giving negative ions. The entire thing is giving you lots of negative ions. Okay, and this is Mint Bliss. Now, the Mint Bliss is also another beautiful product. If you just put a drop on your palm and you rub it and you're inhaling, it goes right inside into your lungs and then into your head. And you can feel, especially those who are having a fever, who are having a stuck nose, is going to help clear those areas. So this is another beautiful product. So if you can see now, we have more than 20 products, reaching 30, and you have a product for almost every other use, for health use, right? So look up the products in your back office, and if it's available in your country, then you are able to order. Okay, so do look up. And a beautiful thing about PRIFE is, you can redeem them using your loyalty redemption points. So you do not have to spend more money, but you're using those points to redeem anything, everything as per your points. Right? So having said that, let's go into the frequency. Now, Hippocrates is the ancient Greek father of medicine. Now, what he said was, if there's a way to heat the bones, then all diseases can be treated. Now, what he actually meant was, in the olden days, they used heat as a form of treatment, right? So along the way, even until recently, when women, after having delivered, there were these ladies who are experienced in this field. They use, like a ball, stone or metal, where they heat them and they place on various parts of the body for what do you call it, quick relief and quick healing. Now that is almost forgotten now along the way. Now what you can do is, now you can use the device. You can use the eye care device to do the same thing. You can heat the bones, and you can heat any part of the body where you need to heat them, right? So that's one use of the device. Now, what he has also said is, the natural healing force within each one of us is the greatest force in getting well. People, what they're doing is, they forget that, there's a force inside of us, and if you get it going, then it can help in the healing of the body. Our cells are intelligent cells. We have an intelligent body. You do not have to teach or tell anything. You just give what it requires, and it takes over and does the healing for us. Unfortunately, most do not realize that, and they seek help from outside. All right? So that's what's happening now. And he has also mentioned that natural forces within us are the true healers of disease. So we have those natural forces which have been there. Okay, nature has given us that, but now from nature. So many of us have moved away from nature, and you're not getting those natural forces within us moving again. And the eye care devices are giving you those natural forces so that the cells are able to work again, so that they function optimally. Right? And If you look at this, Mehmet Oz, what he said was energy medicine is the last great frontier in medicine. Now, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in one of his speeches about a few years back, there's a video going around where he was talking in front of many thousands of medical professionals, medical students, and those involved in medicine. What he told them was, if all of you don't keep up with the latest, many of you are going to be out of work or going to be left behind. And the future is frequency. All right, that's what he mentioned. So he's already aware at that time as to what frequency is going to do. And Albert Einstein has mentioned that future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And he didn't have any device which was giving frequency at that time. All right, they were just working out some things and all that. But now you have in your hand a device which is giving frequency and doing what future medicine is going to do presently. So make use of it fully, make use of it to heal yourself, also to help others with this frequency. All right? Okay, now let's go on. There are some certifications which you might be interested in. Now, the first of all is it's certified and patented by the Chinese Academy of Sciences and Sinochem. As we know, China is in the forefront of terahertz technology. They are way ahead of us by maybe 5 to 10 years. Now, we are just learning about terahertz technology. They are already having so many devices and the things which are using terahertz. Now, the technology is coming from them. The manufacturer is Deschang. The Deschang is the company of our scientist, Professor Yang Wenjun. All right. So together they bring out the device, and the distributor, the sole distributor worldwide, is PRIFE International Sendirian Berhad. All right. So this is how it goes. And presently, since 2024, Deshang and PRIFE International are partners. So now PRIFE International is also a co-manufacturer. So the first product which they produce is the Premium Plus, all right? And very soon the Pro Plus is going to come out, all right? Now let's look at some R&D. It started many years ago. It was founded in May of 2015. So it has got 6 years of history in its R&D. And then in 2015, the first device came out. The cost was about USD 400,000, right? And then in 2017, the second generation came to around USD 20,000. And in 2019, the third generation, the Pro, came out. And the cost is just plus minus USD 5,000, depending, and plus minus, depending on where it's coming, in which country it is, all right? Because of the taxes and the transport, all right? Now, basically, what it uses is 3 core technologies. So we call it 3-in-1 core technology. The first one, of course, is terahertz technology, which we shall talk about more later. And then quantum technology and also optical quartz technology. Now, the optical quartz part of it is something unique to this device because, the rare earth and minerals and crystals which produce the terahertz brought to the factory, heated up to about 1800 degrees over 40 hours, and then the optical quartz tube is formed. So that's where this tube comes from. So the good this tube, even before you start switching on the device, is already working for you. So you can even take the device, keep it near you when you are sleeping, close to you, make sure you don't break it, and it's still working for you. It's already working for you. It's providing the terahertz energy. Now you don't get in any other device out there which says that it's giving you terahertz energy. All right, because only PRIFE has that. Now the next thing is, uh, as I said earlier, PRIFE has been appointed as the sole distributor worldwide. You only get this kind of device only from PRIFE. And then we also have a USD 1 million coverage insurance, liability insurance, worldwide coverage of 1 million, USD 1 million. But till today, this is coming to more than the fourth year, not even one single person has actually, asked for any liability. All right. Okay, so now let's look at some certificates. It has got certificates of conformity, it has test reports, it has compliance information statements, and it has lots of certification which you can see on the company website. Right? It has been patented, tested, and proven to be safe and effective by several reputable institutions. Now, these are the initial three products which came to PRIFE. As I said, this is the earlier version. Now you don't see it in Europe and the US anymore, and it's slowly being phased out. And so now let's talk about the classic first. Basically, it's a light model, very light. So even families having elderly people, they love this because it's lighter and they find it very convenient. It has three levels of heat and it's loved by individuals as well as and families. All right, and the color is only one color, maroon red. And then we have the Pro, which came in 2019, where a lot of centers, they like to use this. That doesn't mean that families and individuals cannot use them. So if you can afford a little bit more, this is also a good device to have. It has a two-level switch, but with 6 combinations. So the 2 of the combinations do not use heat. So you can use it even without heat and it works. Right? It's slightly bigger, slightly heavier, and if you're using it continuously, then you can use it for longer hours, even up to 6 hours. All right. So the next one is, this is the Premium Plus. Okay, now the Premium Plus, which came out in 2024, has certain unique features. The first one is the color. Many people love the color and the design. And it gives a beep every 2 minutes. Every 2 minutes, it gives a beep. Now, why is that so? Now, because earlier people used to keep time as to where they are blowing when they do the basic protocol. So then now what they have done is they've given the beep every 2 minutes, so you don't have to look at your time. Every time it beeps, you go on to another point. And at the end of the 30 minutes, a red light comes on and a long beep comes on. And it's time to stop. All right. And then start again. So this is the first co-production between PRIFE and also Deshang. Okay. And it also has a 3 levels heat switch. Now the next one is, these are the earlier models which came. Now this is being phased out. So in future, you will only see these 3. And in future, even the Pro will slowly be phased out where the Pro Plus comes in. Now, there are comparisons. If those who are interested in the comparisons, you can get this chart from your upline and you can have a look. All right. Okay. Sorry. So for today, this is about it. So any questions? Today, we're making it quite short. So we are opening it up more for questions because many people have also asked, saying that, can you please give a little bit more time for questions because we want to ask a lot of things. So we're giving you a little bit more time for questions. Okay, let me look at the chat. Right. Now, let me see. Welcome all. I'm Fabia. Netherlands, Norway, Philippines, Brazil, Singapore, and India. All right. Now let's start with some questions. Those, because many have said that in previous times it was too short for the questions. And can you give a bigger slot for the questions? Yes. Akash, okay. No questions? Okay, no questions. Let's talk a little bit more. I'll just go along a little bit. Now, basically, people are asking me why? What's so special about the terahertz and how does it help? Okay, the first thing is uh, the terahertz device gives you the energy which you have lost. You know, when you compare yourself with people from before, especially your forefathers, your grandfathers, all right. You never see them going to the hospital as often as people presently. They were very healthy, and many of them lived long lives, right? And at that time, you didn't have much clinics or hospitals, but they were healthy. Now, when you look at the present days, many people are getting sick. Even the younger ones, they are young and they are getting sick. So, why do you think that is happening? If you ask me, I was looking at it, and what I saw was that the difference is in the amount of energy which our grandfathers used to have, and the energy which we have. Now, what's happening is previously people lived along the rivers. So when they lived along the rivers, they were drinking from the river water. That was their primary source of water. And then they had wells. They dug wells, they were drinking water from the wells. There was lots of energy, and this energy was powering them, right? So they was constantly being replenished with that energy every time they drink this water. Okay, so now presently, fast forward to present days, now what's happening is we have moved inland, we have moved into towns, we have moved into cities, and we are drinking water from the dams. They're coming through pipes, they come to our taps. We're drinking the tap water, and then we are drinking bottled water, and we are drinking also filtered water. Now, entire water, the water which we are drinking now, does not have the energy which used to be there. Now, I've shown again and again, what do you call that? What do you call that? That the water, the difference between the uncharged water and the charged water, the amount of energy, the difference the energy makes. All right. So the energy is now through the eye TerraCare device, we're able to get that energy again. Why? Because our cells, they need the vibrational and rotational forces, right? The vibrational and rotational forces. So these vibrational and rotational forces, also the intermolecular and intramolecular forces. Okay, if you do not have the energy, they do not function, and they need that energy to function optimally. Now, what happens when they do not have the energy? They're unable to remove the, what do you call it, the toxins and the waste from the body. Now, when they have that, the first thing they do is they start getting rid of the waste and the toxins. The next thing is they start looking at the cells. If the cells are good, what they do is, what do you call that? They enhance the cells. And if the cells are no good, then they remove those cells. So now the body slowly gets only good cells in them. So you slowly the recovery comes. And in about 1 year, 98% of your body starts changing and getting good cells. So if you look at yourself after 1 year, and if you're constantly drinking the water and you're using the device, you will find that you have a changed person, a new person, and you're definitely going to look younger as well. So the water plays an important part. Now, on top of that, now many people, what they are doing is, previously, our forefathers, they used to plant their own food, the vegetables and whatsoever. Used to have lots of fruit trees around you, and they used to exchange with their neighbors. The wet market had lots of fresh vegetables, so they were having lots of fresh food which contain a lot of energy. Now what happens presently is most people, they are eating processed food, and the processed food does not contain energy. So, people are so busy working and they find it easier to eat outside, and most of the food is processed food. And then you're going to the supermarkets, buying food in tin food, and then lots are going to places like McDonald's, KFC, again processed food. So you're not getting the energy which you used to have. And most of us, what we are doing is we are starting our children from young, teaching them junk food, processed food. So they're hooked to that. Okay? And many of them, if you ask now, they do not like to eat vegetable. Now, previously, when our forefathers and we were younger, we used to eat the vegetables. The parents insisted we eat the vegetable. There was energy there. And presently, we are losing that. So because of that, the body has a problem. First, removing the toxins and the waste. Two, to make the cells work so that they can keep you healthy and make you better. So it's about time we looked at things that way. And the eye care devices do just that. What they do is they put in the energy back for you, and the second thing they do is they break the water clusters. The water clusters. Now, when you drink water, if you're drinking 2 liters of water, only 1 liter is working for you. The other 1 liter is practically just going to your stomach and taken out. Why? Because they are in cluster form. And this is not what I'm saying, but this is what research says. Only about 50% of the water which we are drinking is working for us in the cells. So what the device does is it breaks those water clusters every time you charge them, and almost 100% of that water is now working for you. It is going into your cells. Now, in your cells, you have what is called as cytoplasm, and in the cytoplasm, you have lots of organelles. Among them are even mitochondria, and the mitochondria is what produces energy for you. And if, let's say, there's a lack of water, the hydration level is low, they do not perform well. Maybe 2 ATPs, 4 ATPs, or so on. But the moment when the hydration is increased, the energy comes in. It also brings in a third factor, which is more oxygen. So when this come in together, it goes up to even up to 32, 34 ATPs. All right, that's a fantastic amount of energy you're getting now. So what people are feeling is, they're energized even up to late night if they wish to do so. And then the moment they want to sleep, they can sleep, they have a good sleep, and they're waking up very fresh. This is what it is doing to them. So what you do is you charge the water, not drink 2 glasses before and after therapy, but if you have the device, you're drinking it from morning right till you sleep. The 2 glasses before and after is just for those who do not have the device and you're going there for therapy, or they're coming for therapy and you're giving that water to drink. So forget about the 2 before, 2 after. Start drinking the water from morning right till you sleep. Make a change in your habits. Change to charged water, and you will see a very big difference. Now, if you give that to your children, what happens to your children? Now, what it does is, first, it energizes them, because many of them, when they go to school and they come back, they go on to extracurricular activities, and then many parents send them for tuition and further classes, music and such things. They are practically worn out by the time they come back. And when they go for tuition, nothing wants to go in. But when you start charging the water and giving them charged water, you find that they are energized and the reception is much better. They can absorb much better. They can last much longer. And you will find that their results in school starts going up. All right, it changes them. Of course, if you have small kids, maybe 2 years old, 3 years old, who are very active, you may want to stop by 6 p.m. because if you keep continuing until the night, they may not sleep. They are very active because that's the amount of energy they have. Now, that's for children who are very active. All right. For others, give them. Let them enjoy. Everybody in the family is drinking the charged water now. It'll be a big change. All right. So I can see the questions coming in. So probably we'll answer some questions before continuing. All right. Now, okay, the first one is you mentioned in your last presentation on the ion shield that we should not change the chain that comes originally with the device. Can you please explain again why? Thank you. This is Mr. William Low, all right, from Malaysia, Malacca. All right. Now, the first thing is the chain which comes with the ion shield. It is designed such that it removes static energy. All right. If there is any static which builds up, that removes it. So when you change the chain, so it doesn't have a medium for the static to be released. All right. So keep the chain. Okay. Maybe if you wish to have another chain, wear it separately. Okay. So that I hope it answers you, Mr. William. All right. So it is for the static energy. Now, Mr. Shanmugam has asked, it's possible to use these devices allopathy hospital, will they accept or not? Now, as I said earlier, it is not registered as a medical device or under any medical body. So if you're going to use in hospitals and clinics, they require to have you to have that certification. So unfortunately, allopathy hospitals, clinics may not want to use this device because of that. Having said that, many doctors are using them. Okay, they know how good this is and they are starting to use them. We had a doctor from Australia who's a cardiologist. I wouldn't say from where, but from Australia. So when she came, she was going around asking about this device, and we had a session. And immediately after the session, she went to the counter and she ordered the device. She said, "Now I'm going to use for my patients." Right? So once they understand what it does, we are not going against allopathy. We are not, what do you call it, taking anything away. What we are doing is we are complementing. We need allopathy doctors, we need hospitals, we need clinics, especially in cases of emergency, they are the best. But when it comes to chronic diseases, now we can help them in that in our own way. We can complement them, all right? So where the body, we allow the body to recover on its own, bringing back to what it should be. So people are finding that and people are working on that, all right? So the next one is, are the negative ions in the glass or the frame of the NV specs? Now they're not in the glass. Basically, they are in the frames. The NV specs, they are on the frames, right? So the negative ions. Now what the glass does is, it cuts off the UV light, the blue light. It cuts off, especially when you're on laptops and then you're on the phone. A lot of radiation. It helps to cut off. The glass does that. Whereas the negative ions are on the frame, right? Now, what I did was I removed the glasses and I custom made glasses so that I still get the negative ions. Unfortunately, I stepped on it one of the days and I got to get it done again, all right? So that's what the frames are for. So, you're too excited, you're using it everywhere. And one day it was dark and I didn't realize and I stepped on it. Just too bad. All right. So the next one is question. BioLite does the same as iTerra Care, adding P PEMF, not PMEF, but BioLite can be applied without any restrictions, unlike iTerra, right? This is Eduardo Mitico asking. Well, I'm not sure where you're from. But if the person has an implant in their foot near the toes, are there also no restrictions? Mr. Eduardo, maybe you got that a little bit wrong there. So the thing is, both have restrictions, all right? The eye care devices, the blowers, have their restrictions. The bio and BioLite have their restrictions. Okay. Now, when you say PEMF, actually what's happening is the eye care, the blowers, we have terahertz frequency. And then in the Pro Plus, which is coming soon, there will also be negative ions. Now, in the bio and BioLite, basically in the second generation, we have terahertz frequency and graphene infrared. But in the bio of the third generation, we have terahertz energy, we have graphene infrared, and we have negative ions. So the choice is yours, which you want. Now the restrictions. Let's talk about a few restrictions. Now in the bio and BioLite, as what Mr. Eduardo wants to understand, there are some restrictions, especially if you're pregnant, you have a pacemaker, you are not conscious, children below the ages of 10 especially, and then you have, let's say, a fracture, we have metal implants. So we may, recommend that you do not use the bio and BioLite, right? Some of the things, there are a few more, right? So like even the iTerra care, if you have a stent, do not use in that area. And then you have fractures, you have metal implants, do not use in those areas, right? So there are restrictions for both iTerra care and the bio and BioLite. Even for ladies who are having the menstruation, we tell them do not use around that time. Now, specifically as asked, if a person has an implant in their foot near the toes, are there also no restrictions? Definitely, because if there's an implant, most of the time it's a metal implant. And that's the area where the graphene infrared is coming into your body and it could heat up that metal implant. So definitely we'll advise you, please do not use the bio in this situation. So I hope that answers you, Mr. Eduardo. Now, Nancy Galwao, you have asked, please, I'd like to know if iTerra Care Classic can stimulate the production of stem cells. I had polio and currently face polio syndrome because the motor neurons that control my right arm died because of polio. If I can stimulate my motor neurons to grow, maybe it can help me cure my paralyzed arm. I also would like to know if iTerra can help paralyzed limbs to strengthen. Thank you. All right, now basically when you're talking about stem cells, that's a different thing altogether because there are certain things you have to adhere to. Now, for example, research shows that for this iTerra care to work to stimulate those stem cells, you need about 2 to 8 hours, right? If you keep blowing for 2 to 8 hours, probably it's going to stimulate stem cells. Now, there are also other research which says that, if you use the terahertz blower, you're going to stimulate the neuropeptides. And when you stimulate the neuropeptides will stimulate the stem cells. So there's a lot of research going on in those areas. But for now, I wouldn't like to say that, you are directly stimulating the stem cells. Now, if you wish to do that, what happens is there are some products which you call as stem cell enhancers. So what they do is they go and stimulate the stem cells in the bone marrows especially, and they start working for you. All right, that's a faster way to get it working together with the iTerra care blower. All right, so that will definitely improve. Now, when you talk about regaining what you call the motor neurons die and all that, there is also studies which show that you have plasticity. in the brains especially, so where it can slowly recover, but I wouldn't dare comment on what it does for polio, because unless there is research done in those areas. But research has shown that there is a neural plasticity where if you do the correct thing, uh, it helps to recover the neurons in those areas. Okay, so you have to get it right in the correct areas. And then talking about strengthening, when you talk about strengthening, now basically you don't use eye care for strengthening purposes, because what it does is it works on the cells, makes the cells work, makes them get better, they recover. Now, after that, to strengthen them, you might have to do some, use some weights. So the weights help you with the strengthening part of it, all right? For the muscles to be strong, they need to go through hypertrophy. To get that hypertrophy, you need to use weights, something heavier, probably lifting and something like that. Even use rubber bands and all that. So when you give effort against uh, a load, then you strengthen those muscles. So that will be a better way to look at strengthening those areas. All right. And yeah, when how this is I hope that answers Nancy. And now mailing, Tan mailing. When how long to blow for macular degeneration per session? All right. The first thing is when you talk about macular degeneration, it's in the eyes. All right. Now the eyes, you have lots of muscles, you have nerves, and you have blood vessels in that area. For some reason, maybe you're not drinking well, and maybe the energy is not there, so they slowly constrict and harden, and the muscles are not functioning, and you have macular degeneration. Now, when you start using, you are using in this area around the eyes. Now, you have to try to bring the device as close as possible, so then it becomes more effective. But unfortunately, if you're having a classic or a premium, you have heat, so you may have to put a cloth over it to cut off the heat. You don't want too much heat in those areas. So you're working around them for a minimum of 20 minutes, and then you can slowly see that the regeneration starts happening, and then it brings you out of it. Right? So I hope that answers you, Tan Mei. And Eduardo, iTerra Care can help people with allergy of food, drugs, etc. How it works on allergy. Now, basically, we don't talk about allergy and those things, because what happens is allergy is different to different people. Now, what we should be talking is, now, for some reason, your body is imbalanced, causing those allergies. Now, what the terahertz device does is, it brings your body to homeostasis. Once you have homeostasis, then probably that particular area which causing that allergy might be alleviated. It might go off. All right. So let's look at it in those ways. So the only way is for you to try. Okay. Can I infuse, the next one is Angie. Can I infuse the charged water with lemon and cucumber? And how long do you charge the 2 liters of water? Now, first of all, you can infuse the charged water with anything you want. You can use oxygen, you can use hydrogen, you can put lemon, you can put cucumber, whatever, even honey, everything works better. It's carried better in cells. All right. And how long do you charge 2 liters of water? Minimum of 1 minute. Even you can use 5 liters of water, you charge a minimum of 1 minute and it's charged. All right. Okay. So I hope that answers you, Angie. And yes, Mr. Shanmugam, yes, thank you. Well, you're welcome. Mr. Low, you're welcome. Nancy, again, does iTerra Classic help people with pancreatic insufficiency and with diabetes? What about people with fat in the liver? Now, let's talk about the pancreas. Now, the pancreas, for some reason, if it's not functioning well, then it has a problem excreting insulin, all right? Insulin, which brings the sugar down. So what happens is for people in these situations, they take insulin from outside. You know, the doctor recommends you the dosage and you're starting to take. So if you start blowing on the pancreas, now what happens is slowly it starts getting reactivated and you have to worry about hypo, hypoglycemia, where the sugar level starts dropping because now if it starts producing the insulin again, it's going to bring down the sugar. And with the sugar from the outside, then it's going to come down faster. So what you have to do is you keep noticing your sugar level, and if you find a little bit dizzy, quickly maybe take a sweet or something, and then the next day maybe run to the doctor, have yourself checked. And if the sugar level is low, then he might bring down the dosage. All right. So that's how you work with people with diabetes and fat in the liver. Now, this frequency is also known to dissolve triglycerides. Now, triglycerides are fats. So it should help you with the fat in the liver if you focus in that area consistently. All right. Now, of course, with that, what you should do is also add a little bit of exercise and it starts working even faster. Okay. I hope that answers you, Nancy. And Eduardo, if the implant in the foot is silicone, is it possible to use BioLite? Now, if it's silicone, basically there's no problem with heat. See, the only factor why we are worried about is metal absorbs heat. So it's too much heat there, that's going to be a problem. So silicone, which I believe doesn't have an impact, I mean, the heat does not have an impact on silicone, so it should be fine. Now, Marisa, I have a metal implant on my left ankle. Can I use the BioLite using only my right foot? Okay, this is a good question actually. Uh, the device does not work if you don't put both your feet on the what do you call it, into the bio. All right, you have to place it both together. You see, when you put one, it doesn't work. When you put the other one, then it starts working. So there's no way you can get it working with just one foot. Now, similarly, some people have asked, can I use my hands instead? No, it's not designed for your hands. It's designed for your legs. All right. So I hope that answers you, Marisa. And yes, Angie, you're welcome. Mailing, you're welcome. Uh, thank you, Mr. Salim. And yes, Mr. Shanmugam, can we recover diffuse neuroparenchymal atrophy? Now you have to explain a little bit more about what exactly you're trying to say, which area, and why. What is the problem? Then I can give you a better, and definite answer. All right. Basically, when you talk about atrophy, okay, atrophy is related to a lot of things. Okay, one, people with diabetes also have atrophy, and then also those people who do not exercise have atrophy. So it comes with exercise, hypertrophy. And of course, what this device does is prepares you for the next stage. All right, you're ready for the next stage, but you have to do some weights, all right, to give that hypertrophy. Okay, so that it doesn't drop into the atrophy. Okay, now the retina. Okay, this is aniline rogue. How about retina problem caused by diabetes and eye floaters? Now, I have got a few cases where they had floaters, and even after one session, they're saying that the floaters are gone. You're blowing in your eyes, and then, of course, be careful of the heat. And also, the charged water, you can spray into your eyes. It also helps. All right. It's definitely helping lots of people having the floater problem. All right. So please go ahead and use and hope it helps you fast. And can I work? This is Emblis Minda Fabunan. Can I care work with gallstones? Now, also, what's happening is people who drink the charged water, when they start drinking regularly and they blow, because you also need the water in those areas to get it shrinking. So once they shrink to a size where it can come out by its own, it starts coming out. We have many cases who have told that it's helping them. All right. So I hope that helps you. Mr. Shanmugam, stock patient, I really don't understand. Is that a question or just a statement? Anyway, uh, I really can't answer on that. Nancy Galvao, my right arm is completely paralyzed because of polio. I cannot exercise it actively because it has no strength at all. It is always cold and thin and with bad blood circulation. Can iTerra Classic help me somehow regarding this paralyzed arm? Now, if you see, you mentioned about circulation, you mentioned about cold. Now, these are two things where the iTerra Care devices will definitely help you with the circulation and the heat. Now, as far as recovering from paralysis, that is entirely another thing. All right. Now, paralysis here, normally it's here. It comes from there, and then you have to work on your head and also all along the way. Okay. And, miracles do happen, and let's hope it happens for you. Okay. And the next thing is, how about stroke patient right side paralysis, ischemic stroke, Annalyn? Huh? Now, when you talk about stroke, what is stroke? It's one area of the head where there's a blockage. Okay, there's a blockage, and then the blood is not able to go through, and then the other side is devoid of oxygen and nutrients, and so it slowly dies or is dying. So whichever area it's affecting, it could be memory, it could be speech, it could be motor. So wherever it is, that area will suffer. So when you say the right side paralysis, so normally it's on the left side of the brain. All right, it works the right side. And what happens is there are two things. One, they call it gliolysis. So when it happens, you have a window, maybe about 2 hours or four, maybe, where you can, if you can clear the path, what happens is you have a very good chance of recovering fast. Now, what happens is when you are taken to the hospital, sometimes for some reason, which we cannot overcome, only the doctors and the paramedics there can do, they should immediately be treating you. So when they immediately treat you, then you have a chance of recovering immediately. The other thing is sometimes they check your pressure, and if your pressure is too high, then they do not do that. They wait for the pressure to come down. But then during that time, what happens is you have lost that window. So there's something called gliosis, where scar tissue forms there, and that area is a little bit difficult for it to recover if once scar tissue forms. So anything beyond and after, you have a chance of recovering. All right. There's another thing which is called encephalomalacia. So what happens is it becomes soft and then it leaks into the brain, and that is also another problem because that area becomes soft and there's leakage there. All right. So in those cases, of course, the first thing you want to do is bring them back, bring them strong, and then later get rid of the whatever blood has leaked, and hope that something good comes out of that. But of course, it's a process, it takes time. And the other thing is when you go to the hospitals, what happens is the doctors refer you to the physios, and the physios are working on your limbs, all right? But the problem is here. So with with the iTerracare blowers, you have a better chance of recovering from strokes because now you can work directly on the area which is causing you the problem. All right, there's a very good video of a person in Thailand who had stroke and today he's normal using the iTerracare device. Now this is just one case. There are many cases. All right. So I had another friend who had a mild stroke. So I said immediately start using this and drinking the water. Now you don't even know that he had a stroke. It has recovered very well. So the other problem is for people who are having strokes, if you ask them, there are people who drink very little water. All right. So when you drink very little water, the blood flow is bad. The viscosity is high. The blood vessels are, especially if the blood vessels are constricted and they are not, what do you call it, elastic, then you are in trouble. Anything which blocks it, you immediately have a problem. So water is important. So for the person with stroke, he also needs lots of water. So and charged water works best. So start working with them, starting from charged water. All right, and the next, and that's aniline, and the other one is Mike. Okay, how often we must use eye care device? Do we have to use it every day to see results or healing the body? Now, if you are having a problem, of course, as often as you can. If you do not have a big problem, the consistency does maintenance for you. It keeps you in the range where you do not fall sick, you do not have a problem. So your body is constantly healthy. So definitely, whether you're sick or you're not sick, you still want to use it consistently. A daily going over on your hands, body, legs, even head for a healthy person is definitely going to help him tons. All right. So even if you're not sick, just do that a once over. It's definitely going to keep you healthy for a long time. Okay, and won't push you into the uh, area where you need treatment. Many people who are drinking the water, just drinking the water, are telling that I hardly go to the doctor. I have not gone to the doctor for a very long time. My family, who used to often go to the clinic, the doctors are asking, how come you are not coming nowadays? Why? Because they are so much better now. The immune system has worked for them, has pushed up the immunity, and they don't get sick easily. Now, Mr. SMV, how about trigeminal neuralgia? Where should I focus to blow? And how minutes? You see, basically, we don't talk about any particular disease. We talk generally. Any problem area, work on them for a minimum of 20 minutes. Just that small area. It doesn't matter where it is. So you work about 20 minutes minimum, you will definitely find at least a little bit of change. And over a period of time, where you are consistently doing it, you will see improvements. Now, when you come to this stage, it is not overnight. It has gathered over a period of time. So give yourself more time for that thing to be cleared, and you will see the results. All right. So Nancy, again, does Itara Care Classic help women facing menopause? Can it stimulate all women bodies to produce hormones again? Okay, now basically, when you talk about menopause and hormones, you're talking about the endocrine system, all right? Though there are areas of the body which produce these hormones. Now, if you're going to blow on those areas which are producing these hormones, definitely they're going to keep you longer. But there are other things involved when it comes to menopause. Maybe I should just mention it, all right? You see, being with your husband helps to extend the menopause. So many women who do not have a husband or they are no more active with the husbands, they find that the menopause sets in even faster. All right? It's a fact. Now, the other thing is, if you can blow on those areas, the endocrine system, the points which are excreting these hormones, then it should be helping you. I hope that answers you, Nancy. And there are, yes, people who are about to go into menopause, when they start blowing on the endocrine system, they find that hormones are coming out again and it's extended a little bit more. All right? So, Annalene, you're welcome. Parkinson, Christian, Parkinson. Now, when you talk about Parkinson's, it's that area which controls the motor movements of the body. So the signals, they want to go and then they do not go. They want to go and then they do not go. So they want to lift the hand and then it doesn't lift. They want to lift, it doesn't lift. But this happens very fast, so it becomes like this. So the signals in those areas are not functioning well. So when you blow in those areas, what happens is there are neurons in those areas and there are synapses. The synapses are the electrical stimulation between the neurons which eventually give the signals. Now, when you have a neuron, there's one part where the signals are coming in and the other part which is a little bit long where the signals are coming out. So the part where the signals are coming out is the synapses, the electrical stimulation is poor. So by blowing this device, it improves the electrical stimulation. So what we have seen is people who have problems feeding themselves, shaking so violently. Upon using this device, they are controllable. There is some, it's slowed down to where it's manageable. All right. And probably eventually it's even better. So it's definitely helping people with Parkinson's. You're welcome, SMV. And diabetic retinopathy. Yes, we have also cases where people have problems with their eyes. Now, upon using this, now basically, when you talk about diabetic retinopathy, the nerves, the blood vessels which are supplying blood to your eyes are now not working properly. So the supply of blood to those areas are no good. The nerves are slowly weakened, are not functioning well. So the muscles in those areas are not able to focus the images onto the retina. So that's where the problem comes. So what you do is when you start blowing, you bring back to normal. Now the first thing you need to do is bring down your diabetic sugar level. All right. So when that comes down, then you have a chance of recovering your nerves and recovering your blood vessels. They supply more blood and the muscles start working and you start seeing clearly. All right, you see better. Okay, now we have cases with this problem who are now able to see better. All right, yes, definitely you have a chance, Annalyn. Okay, you're welcome, Annalyn. And Mike's again. How about people who suffer stomach bloating? No, it's gone. All right. How about people who suffer stomach bloating and digestive issues? Example, constipation. Now, when you talk about constipation, it's more than just blowing. The blowing, yes, it helps, but there are other things involved. For example, you need to have roughage meaning fiber. If you do not eat fiber, then you are going to have constipation. Then you should be drinking lots of water. The water expands the fiber and gives you bulk so that you remove the constipation. So you have to do also something more than just blowing. Of course, blowing makes the muscle, the what the peristalsis, where it constricts and lets go, constrict, let's go, more elastic. But then you also have to help yourself with the kind of food which helps with that. All right. So and bloating. Now the bloating is where sometimes people, what happens is, but we have a case where hydrocephalus, where it has maybe a lot. Okay, now basically what does it mean? Number one, something is not functioning normally. So by using this device, you're trying to bring it to what is normal and it slowly tries to bring it to what is normal. You get homeostasis in those areas. All right. So definitely you can try for this baby, but don't do it too fast. Start slowly and be careful of the heat. The baby is not able to tell you it's too hot. All right. So work on that. So, okay, Arif, okay. So, Mr. Sam, I think that's the last question. And it's a
Yeah,
good thing that we gave a little bit more time for questions. And
yeah,
apparently there were many questions. So, thank you so much. Uh, and I hope it answered your questions. And last thing is that the device, the eye TerraCare device, the blowers especially, the terahertz frequency is something fantastic. And if you have it and if you are using it, well, God loves you, all right? Because you have the opportunity to make use of it. Many people do not know about it and they don't have the opportunity to recover from whatever they are going through. And the other thing is, we call those people who have this device and are helping others, we call you love angels, who are helping other people. All right? So, and health angels. So with that, I thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
By the way, Dato, thank you so much. And I
Yeah.
think there's a last question over there by the Ecuador, right? You can just have a look on the chat.
Cunning. Eduardo. No,
Yeah.
Eduardo was just thanking cunning. Can the blower be used on someone with spinal fusion surgery? Okay. Now,
The last
why,
question.
why, why do you want to use it on that area? Because normally, once you do surgery on those areas, it is very difficult to bring back to what it was because sometimes it is not perfect, right? The fusion is not perfect, it creates another problem. But to alleviate the problem you had, the doctor has done fusion. So what's happening in those areas is the compression is pushing out, a little bit and is impinging on the nerves, and that is giving you a problem. So to solve the problem, or maybe it is it is beyond repair, so they fuse it, and even if you use the device there, you can nothing you can do about the fusion, but around that area you can bring down the, what do you call that, the pain, right? And the inflammation. Of course it will come down, you feel good, but then might come back because you have already done surgery and there's nothing you can do about it. All right. So the best thing is keep using over and over again to bring down the inflammation and the pain. It's the best we can do in those areas. And the iTeracare device does that. All right. Thank you.
All right. Once again, thank you very much to Dr. Soma Sundram as our Prime International Group Product Advisor. And so I think, guys, on the line, you have learned so much from our Group Product Advisor. And hopefully, the information that you have learned from here, try to share with your family and loved ones as they also get the benefits from our fantastic product of iCare. So I think that's all for the session right now. So thank you once again to Dr. Soma Sundram. So I wish all our participants tonight and every one of Pride family members good health all the times. And stay tuned until we meet again next time in the air. So sign it off from
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you. Good night and bye bye.
Good night.